How's it going, guys? In today's video, I will not be reacting to Lusamine and Necrozma because I screwed up my recording, so I'm recording again and I've already seen her kit. And it is strong, very strong, possibly one of the hardest hittings in pairs. But it's a pretty small but. She has a small problem, I realized, a small problem. It's not that big of a deal, and that problem is that she cannot unlock her full potential yet. What do I mean by that? I will talk about it as I go through her kit. So Lusamine, she's a psychic special striker, master fair. So since she's a master fair, it's only a 1% chance to get her, which is very painful, incredibly painful. 1% chance is very low. The team skills: Psychic Strike, Alola Strike, Villain Strike, Sygna Strike, and Grow Strike. Now her stats are very interesting. Once you use your first thing, you become Ultra Necrozma, and Ultra Necrozma increases all your stats. Literally every single stat. The attack is okay. Defense, special defense is kinda average for striker, and then special attack is pretty good. Speed is very good. HP is also very good. So stats wise, pretty solid. And now her passive skills: Alola Spirit. So it's basically Archie's passive skill but for Alola. So you do 20% extra more damage with special attack moves, and then for every Alola Sync prayer you have, you increase by 15% up to a maximum of 50%. And then you take 25% less damage from your opponents, and then you increase by 3% for every Alola Sync prayers, up to a maximum of 31% damage reduction, which is strong. It's very strong. Of course, it's only for special attackers, which is not a problem. Like, you can even pair her up with Lily because like their passive can stack, which is kinda crazy, right? But do you really wanna pair her up with Lily? That's the question. I will talk about it more later. Our second passive: before you become Ultra, it's Healthy Super Hit. Apply a super effective up next effect if your HP is full when you enter the battle, which is cool, right? Then after you Ultra, it becomes super duper effective too, which is really good. 20% extra damage if it's to Psychic. Good stuff. Entry freebie: you apply free next effect when you enter the battle, which is cool, right? 4 gauge move. She has a 4 gauge move, quite expensive. And then when you Ultra, it becomes MGR 4, which is solid, very solid. And she has a 4 gauge move. Her 4th passive, Expand Reach, is basically End's passive, but it only activates after you use your first Sing move. But then I'm not too sure like what this actually means. Like after using the user's Sing move, so does it mean that you have to use Lusamine's Sing move and not other people's Sing move? Not too sure yet. We will know soon enough, right? Once she releases. It's like End Sing move, do AoE with your moves, which is great. And the good thing is that the damage is not reduced, right? Because usually AoE damage, if you target 3 opponents, your damage will reduce by 50%. But with this passive, your damage is like 100% for all 3 opponents, which is very strong. And then the chances of applying additional effects are also not reduced, which is great. Now for her moves, her first move is Mirror Shot, the 2 gauge special steel type move, 30% chance to decrease accuracy. And then after you sing, it becomes AoE as well, right? So 30% chance to reduce accuracy. 30% chance is quite low. It's not that consistent. Her trainer move, Direct Hit Plus, good stuff. Can max out crit in 2 turns. Prismatic Laser, it's Necrozma's signature move, 4 gauge move. It's very hard. Then her trainer move, Luminous Love, you decrease Sing move by 2, then you plus 6 special attack, but you're -1 speed. It's only -1 speed. It's not that bad. Now her Sing move, Loving Light, that burns the sky. I believe it's like Necrozma's C move or something. But then it becomes Ultra Necrozma after you sing, which is really strong because you buff up all your stats, right? It's not like Mega Rayquaza and Steven where you buff speed only, which is still hilarious honestly. But like you buff everything, very nice. And the best thing about her is that power of the Sing move is still the same. It doesn't change, right? If it's a Mega Pokemon, the power is reduced. But for her Sing move, the power is like a regular striker. It doesn't reduce, which is insane. And then remember that she is also a Psychic type, so she can make use of Psychic Terrain. Now let's move on to a Sing Grid. So for 1 of 5, nothing except for Direct Hit Plus. I don't know why you want to take this if it's not by the Villa. 4 out of 5, Mirror MGR 3, cool. A Power Up, MPR 2, I don't know why you want to take this. Precognition 3, not bad, right? Not bad. Can increase home gauge when it's Psychic Terrain. Prismatic Laser MGR 3, which is really good, right? Like you already have MGR 4 here, and then you take this again. You don't have to worry about gauge too much. And then she also has Weird Vibes 1, 10% extra in Psychic Terrain. It's only 10% though, it's not that much, so you might want to consider not taking this and take something else. 3 out of 5. This combo blade 4, 50% chance to lower accuracy. It's good, especially after you sync because you can AoE debuff, right? On a raw 1, also it's okay, but then I don't know if you really want to use Mirror Shot as your like damaging move. I mean, you're not even supposed to use Mirror Shot as your damaging move. It's not even 100% accurate, which sucks. So it becomes 60% chance to decrease, but like I said, you probably want to use prismatic laser most of the time. Hide and sync, this is very strong. It's a multiplier, right, for your sync move. It's very good. We have proportion 1, I don't think it's useful. I will skip this. Critical strike 1 might be useful. I would definitely prefer this than revive, right, because critical strike 1 can increase damage for both your sync and regular damage. And then you just have to crit your moves, which is incredibly easy. Revives 1, you have to set up circuit terrain. Brain sync 5, this one, very good. You don't even need any effort to max out your special attack, you just have to use the trainer move once and then you have a 50% extra damage already. Double down 9, very good, 90% extra damage when your sync move is super effective, very strong. Now, I will start talking about what the problem is. The problem is that her grid is so good that you can't take everything. So, okay, let's see. So, let's say you want to take hide and sync. Obviously, because you do more sync damage. Okay, good. That's sync damage. Then you take these power-ups, you take brain sync 5, you take double down 9. Good, right? You have 10 more energy left. Just take whatever. Let's say you just take prismatic laser or something like that. It doesn't matter, okay? So, okay. On paper, this looks good. Now the question arises, right? How are you gonna debuff the accuracy? You have two options. Option number 1, you sync the first time and then you spam Mirror Shot, which is only a 30% chance. 30% chance is it's gonna take a long time to get to, like even -3. Or your second option, bring a accuracy debuffer. Now, bring accuracy debuffer is like, yeah, cool, it's cool, but think about it. How many accuracy debuffer do we have? We only have like, I think only 3, correct me if I'm wrong. We have May, which I don't recommend because body water is too expensive. We have Clement with Mud Slap, and probably the best one would be Ingo and Excadrill. They can debuff accuracy, they can max up crit as well, so that would be the best one, right? Now the sad thing is that none of them are Dollar Sync pairs, so you cannot activate the Master Passive. Now let's say if you take like Clement, let's say you don't have Ingo like myself, you take Clement. You only have one more slot for your teammate. What would it be? Would it be Bianca? Or is it another Adora support, right? Now we have another question. So basically the problem is that with our current roster of sync pairs, we cannot fully utilize her damage. She can still do pretty big damage, even if you don't get to -6 accuracy. She can still do big damage. I can show you the calculations. Like, she cannot fully utilize it, which is not really a problem because we will utilize it as more sync pairs get added. So like if you take Bianca, Clement, and Lusamine in a team, you don't get to activate Alola Spirit, and you also don't have a reliable healer. So that's like 2 problems. And I mean, in our current meta, you don't really need to like tank that much because, you know, you usually end a battle before your opponent even sync. It's not really a big problem. Again, let's go back to the team. Clement, Bianca, and Lusamine. Your teammate does not have anyone that can buff your crit or special attack, so you have to buff your own. So you wasted 3 turns trying to buff yourself. Right, so that is already like another like turn wasted. But then again, it's not that big a problem because once you become Ultra Necrozma, you buff out your stats, you do AoE, so it's not really a problem. So like, okay, let me just show, oh hold on, I screwed up. This should be here. Yeah, this one. Something like this. So this is a maximum potential damage she can do. Right, this is like the strongest crit she can have. So let's do the damage calculations. 6 special attack, be effective and crit. Let's just do this first, without any other buffs, without any like multipliers. Just look at this. Just look at this. Even without accuracy debuff, she can already do 21,000. That's already very high. Very high. That is very strong. Especially later is also not that bad. 1,000. Now, if you debuff accuracy to -6, which is quite difficult to do, right? Like I said, because of team problems, and then Lusamine cannot like consistently debuff. Even with like this combo blade 4, right? let's say minus 6, you just assume you get minus 6, which I don't think is possible if you don't bring any accuracy debuffer. 44,000, that is very, very strong. Now, assuming you run a team like I said, Bianca, Clement, Lusamine, so you have Psychic Terrain. If you have Psychic Terrain, how much damage is that? Boom, 66,000 damage. That is very strong. Very, very high sync damage. Prismatic Laser is also very strong. That is assuming again, minus 6 accuracy and Psychic Terrain. If you don't have Psychic Terrain, you can still work. It still does a lot of damage, honestly. Even without accuracy, she still does a lot of damage. Like, bro, the sync damage is a lot. Twin laser damage is also pretty good. Not the best, but still not bad. If, let's say, you want to really utilize, like, let's say, you don't bring any accuracy debuffer, instead you bring Lily Lunala, for example, to activate the passive. Then if you don't have accuracy debuffer, you have to debuff accuracy yourself. So what would be the grid for that? You can go up here, then you have to sacrifice this, and this. So it does a 50% rip damage here, this 3, right? But then you can take this combo blade 4, or you can debuff accuracy, but then it's only 50%, not super consistent, and then you have to waste turn trying to buff yourself as well because of the team composition. Because, like, you know, you don't have any crit or special attack support. That is a small problem. Now, how much damage is this? Now, since you have Lily, right, your special 35, your both becomes 20, I think. I believe it's 20. Now, if we get to, let's say, like this, damage is actually reduced, right? You don't have the 50% buff from Brain Sync 5, which sucks. So I actually don't really recommend bringing Lily along. Let's see if we put minus 6 accuracy and then we put Psychic Terrain. Okay. 49,000, 50,000, that is less damage than for this one was like 66,000 or something. The damage is lesser. So I actually don't really recommend bringing Lily. And then Lily is like 4 gauge smooth for sure, so I don't recommend bringing her. Or if you don't bring any like support, you can just do like I said, right? You can literally sacrifice hide and sync and just take this, something like this. Literally, like, just do something like this. Since you're running a Psychic Terrain, you can take Precognition. You can run something like this. You don't care about accuracy. You still hit crazy hard. Right? You don't take accuracy, you don't debuff accuracy, you have Psychic. And then, yeah. 47,000 is still very high. It's because like Brain Sync and Double Down, that's like 440% extra damage here. It sucks that you don't get another multiplier here, but she still hits hard, right? So that is just like small problem about her. She just cannot fully utilize everything in a grid, right? And with our current sync pairs, we don't have any Alola sync pair that can set up Psychic Terrain or debuff accuracy. So at this moment, she cannot reach her potential. Which is still good, even without them, right? I literally just showed you, even without Psychic Terrain and accuracy debuff, she still does like freaking 31,000 damage. That is high, man. But not as high as Giovanni. Giovanni just does way too much damage, right? Especially since he can debuff special defense as well. Special defense is crazy. Sadly, you cannot really do that for Lusamine because, like I said, team composition problem. You just cannot, unfortunately. Now, I'll quickly compare Mewtwo and Lusamine. So this one will be the grid I use, right? Crit Shock 3, Rain Teaser, Smarty Pants. Okay. Now if you crit effective, plus 6 special attack without Psychic Terrain, that is 20,000. That is not high, right? That is actually not that good of losing damage. But even if you get to minus 1 special defense, damage is almost about the same as Lusamine without anything, right? Let's say we get to 3, which is very likely, right? Even without special defense debuffer, it's still likely to get minus 3 special defense with like on a raw psychic, right? That is already higher, right? It's already higher. But if you get to minus 6, we haven't even put Psychic Terrain as well. Minus 6? That is 66. That is already more about the same as Lusamine with Psychic Terrain. If you put Psychic Terrain, that's like probably 100,000. Yeah, almost 100,000. I still think Mewtwo does more damage, mainly because of minus special defense, right? Minus special defense, you activate multiplier, and also like generally minus special defense, just do more damage with special attack moves. So now the question you might ask, I already have Mewtwo, do I need her? Her answer is, I think you probably need her. Why? Why do I think that? We are getting a new game mode soon, the Legendary Gauntlet thing, and we also still don't have any Psychic Weak Legendary Arena. So maybe you want to consider that, right? And then like I said, Legendary Gauntlet is coming. It's probably our new endgame content, and I think it's gonna be hard. So I recommend you to have at least 2 damage dealer for each type, just in case, because like the Death Rattle said, once you use the Sync Prayer, you cannot use the Sync Prayer again in following attacks, even though the Sync Prayer survived, right? But then if you already have Leer and Mewtwo, I think you can skip, right? Unless you really sim for Lusamine, then go ahead. And then again, Lusamine is also Master Sync Prayer, so she has Master Passive, which is also very rare, and her branding is 12% for 5 star. So it's up to you. I will pull for her because, you know, she's cool, she's strong, and her potential damage is gonna increase as we get better Sync Prayers. So guys, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed, make sure to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.